Good morning, everybody. Woo! We are on day 31 of the onlytheinspired.com Coach Summit. Holy moly, we've made it 31 days and 70 coaches later. Wow, what a adventure this has been, and I have just loved absolutely every second of it. So my name is Robin Leslie, and I have created onlytheinspired.com, and this is a coaching platform that opens up the doors tomorrow. So this is almost 4 years in the making, and I am just so absolutely thrilled that this vision, that this dream that I had almost 4 years ago is coming to light tomorrow. Yay. And so actually today we have two of our onlytheinspired.com coaches. So we have the amazing Sean Coe. He's a transformational entrepreneur coach. And then we have Cindy Miller. Absolutely love Cindy Miller. She is just a kick in the pants. She's been on the LPGA tour and on the Legends tour, and you're just going to love her. And then I have the beautiful Jeannie Hanish, who is she's been a marriage and family counselor, and now she coaches parents and kids how to create those bonds in their family. And I am just so thrilled to have everybody with me today. So I am going to bring up my first coach, and make sure that you let us know where you're coming in from. And if you're going to watch the interviews anyways, please start a watch party. That just expands the reach and helps so many more people understand the value of coaching. And we have three completely different niches today, three completely different areas and where coaches help people. And so I'm super excited about it. Just make sure you invite people, start a watch party, let us know where you're coming in from. And so I'm going to bring up Mr. Sean Coe. How you doing?
I'm great. I'm very excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And he is a man on the move. Look at this. He's in his car.
Well, it was a little bit of a chaotic morning, so I am here and excited, but yes, definitely in the car today. So.
Awesome. So we did our interview. It was just this month. So it was 20 days ago. And you're a success and potential coach and entrepreneur coach. So Absolutely. You want to talk about that just a minute before we show the interview?
Absolutely. Yeah. Like what I've found is that people have so much potential inside of their souls and inside of themselves that they just need help to access. And sometimes they need help to plan out. So I love to do strategic planning and training with entrepreneurs. I love to work with potential and success and really help people achieve what's possible and kind of see what they're capable of. And then once we see what they're capable of, having a strategic way to build out a plan so it becomes inevitable is really powerful to see that transformation, especially working with entrepreneurs or really high-level performers that have a success that they can reference. And then we just build it out in all areas of their life.
Awesome. And that is what, the whole intention of this Coach Summit is about, is finding that potential that you have and bringing it to light. And some of us need a strategic plan. Without a plan, a lot of things don't actually ever get off the ground.
Right. Well, and if you look at with everything we're experiencing with COVID-19 is if you have a plan to anchor yourself, at least you have something that you can always go back to. It becomes an anchor point so that you can stay on task. If you don't have a plan, whether it's financial, whether it's growth oriented, whether it's business oriented, it tends to lead to a lot of chaos when things like a pandemic happen.
Yeah, well, nobody plans for a pandemic.
Right. That's why we need the planning in place ahead of time.
Absolutely. All right. So are you ready to watch your interview?
I am ready. Let's do it.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you to mute your microphone, and then I'll bring you back up. So as we're going, if you have any questions for Sean, put them in the chat, and I'm going to bring him back up, and he's going to answer questions and answers for you. Okay. So here we go. everybody. This is Robin Leslie with OnlyTheInspired.com doing another amazing interview today. We have Sean Coe, and so I'm super excited about finding out more about him and what he does and how he helps people. So in a couple of minutes, Sean, describe who you are and how you help people.
Oh, it's so awesome to be here. Thank you, Robin, for having me. As far as who I am, I'm somebody who's always in my whole life just kind of felt this passion to make the world a better place and add value to the world. And so I've just been constantly on that mission for that. And recently, I can't say recently, what I've found my mission to be is to help people really understand and what I call decoding their own genius so that they can understand their own superpowers. Because what we find is that most everyone is really great in one area or something of their life really naturally. And there's this tension in other areas of their life. But if we can help people really understand what they're really great at and really be able to define that, then they can apply the same principles and the same strategies to all the other areas of their life. And then every area can play together in a championship level.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, because a lot of times we really excel at one thing and then the rest of our life might be falling apart.
Absolutely. And a lot of times we don't take the time to understand why are we really good at what we're really good at. We just continue to do it. And once we realize that we can actually use that to help the other areas, once we understand it, everything just starts to flow in momentum.
Ah, awesome. Awesome. So how did you get started in that business? Was it one event or a series of events that happened?
I don't think it was specifically one event. I mean, if I go back to my childhood, a lot of my childhood was this King of the Hill experience. And I don't know if everybody remembers the game where you go out on the on the playground and you'd find a rock, some rocks or a bunch of sand, and you'd run to the top and wait for your buddies to throw you down to the bottom. And so I found that my life was a lot like that, trying to rush to the top of the hill and then getting thrown down and then having to reinvigorate the emotional courage and strength to rush up the hill again. And then there was these areas that I was really good at. And I just felt my soul, like my whole life saying, you're capable of more, you're capable of more, you're capable of more. And so I just started following that voice. I started following that voice on this journey and of helping people and looking for the right platform to really inspire people. And that's what coaching really is for me, is it's just a platform. I love linking arms with people and walking them through the journey of their life and helping them, kind of unearth their true potential and genius. And that's what coaching is. That's the platform. And so that's kind of how the very quick version of how I got there was just this echoing whisper in my soul of that I was capable of more. And once I unearthed that in myself, I knew I had to be able to do that for other people. And so that's what the mission's been.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And that's one of the reasons why I want to do this summit, is because I know there's lots of people with that in their belly that's saying that you're meant for more, that there's more to life. There's more to life. There's more to life. How do I get there? And then with the coaches saying, look, I've been in your shoes and come with me and I will help you come out of that. So I love that you said that. Yay.
And one of the things I like to do, so when somebody has that, it's great to help them with the first stage of that. But what I do is I help clients build a life playbook so that they can continue on this journey forever. So it's not just to let me clear one hurdle, but it's let me climb as many mountains as I want to climb. Because, if they're anything like me, pursuit is a major language in my life. And so we're always on the pursuit. So if we lock in skills in a playbook that they can use forever, then momentum never stops.
Right. Well, and they don't have to only pursue one thing. It could be multiple mountains. Yes.
Absolutely.
So describe your ultimate vision for your business.
I think the ultimate vision is to work with a handful of a really select handful of like really high level performers on a very premium level. Like that becomes kind of the peak of the mountain. Also within that, I love the mastermind concept. So one of the things I've built out is a very unique and intimate mastermind where people join together and we kind of link arms and go on the journey together. And then as with all of us coaches, it's just what's the greatest impact I can make on the world. And when I can help transform people's life on a really one-to-one or mastermind level, the ripple effect of that creates such a change on the world. And so deep impact on a personal level that ripples out into the world through their lives is the big vision.
I love that. So what beliefs do you have that set you apart from your competition? And I'm a collaboration, not a competition girl.
Of course.
We all have our unique thing.
Yeah. So like my initial comment was going to be, there isn't really competition. There's enough genius for all of us. But I think the beliefs that really would set me uniquely apart is that I truly believe in everybody's individual genius, that everyone has a superpower. And one of my superpowers is helping them cast a vision for their life and really plan that out in really executable steps. And it's from the foundation of simplicity solves chaos. Like when we have a simple, direct playbook that we can run, just plug and play action steps that are inspired towards a vision, the success becomes inevitable. And then it's just really a fun process about helping them dream about what they want success to look like. So I think that's the belief structure, that success is inevitable and dreaming is fun and the whole process is really joyful and playful. I think that's what sets me apart.
Very cool. And a lot of people need that playbook. They might have the vision, but have not a clue how to get there. So I think that's super helpful that you help plan them out. And I love that it's inevitable.
Right. Inevitable.
Yes, I love that. So what was the hardest thing to overcome when starting your business?
I think, obviously COVID-19 and the pivot to completely virtual world was really a challenge at the first, but it created this incredible opportunity. You and I don't connect other than a virtual world, so the opportunity that this has created, I think that we're all on a journey, right? And so the hardest things are having the courage to be aware of how we limit ourselves and being truly, truly honest with ourselves about what we want and really getting clarity on that. And then being committed to inspired action every day, not allowing our feelings to pull us aside or the circumstances of life to pull us aside, but say, no, like I'm worth enough. This is important enough for me to pursue this. And from a really clean fuel of not like I have to prove myself, not like I'm not enough if I don't, but like from an inspired vision. Like, so the journey is a beautiful thing, but it's also the biggest challenge for all of us because we all limit ourselves. We all have, counter intentions we have to clear through. And we all have this pattern thought processes that we have to kind of clear and overcome. It's kind of like we have to clear the weeds out of the garden to let the flowers grow. So we all have that.
Mm-hmm. And if you don't if you don't pick out the weeds, they will overtake
if you don't pick
that.
out the weeds, there's no space for the flowers to grow, for sure.
Right. Or the garden. Yes, for sure. Because they are wild and vicious.
Yes.
So do you have the support network of friends and family encouraging you to do this? Or is this something you feel compelled to do and you're doing it no matter what?
Well, I'm compelled to do this. I will execute this no matter what. But one of the things that I decided in this process is that I was going to purposely put into my life the right people. And I gave them permission to tell me the truth. I gave them permission to challenge me and make me face things that I wasn't maybe emotionally wanting to face on my own. And so I've really strategically placed 4 or 5 or 6 really amazing people in my life on purpose that I seek out all the time, kind of in a coach mentorship role. So I will accomplish my goals and vision no matter what. Like I said, it's inevitable, but it helps me tremendously to have the right amazing people in my life that are willing to tell me, not always the most comfortable truth, when we're working through things, because we do all have those things that we're facing. We all have hurdles to clear and we all have growth to do and take part in to be able to accomplish our goals.
Yeah. And we all have different outside influences that maybe we can't ignore, but we have to try and deal with and still focus. Yeah. So there's lots of things that could come at you. And they say you are basically your circle of the 5 closest friends. So I like that you intentionally put those people there that challenge you and call you on your stuff. And yeah.
Of course. Yeah. It's not always comfortable, but it's always worth it. It's always exciting. So.
Right. So what is your favorite thing about your business?
My favorite thing is just that I'm on a linked arm journey with my clients. Like we are walking together. It's not about expertise or not expertise, but it's about we're on a journey together. And then we get to create. It's so much fun to dream and create their life, their highest existence. Like that, I mean, it's so exciting. And when you see that light go on in somebody's head, like one of my favorite things to do is to hear their vision and then cast an even bigger vision for them. So, and when you see them see like, oh my goodness, that's actually possible. Like that's probably one of my most favorite moments in the world. And I love doing that with my kids. I love doing that with my clients. And I love it when people do it for me too.
Awesome. Yeah. Not only believing in them, but what else is possible? Let's expand
Absolutely.
on that. Yay.
Because honestly, there's nothing that's not possible. I mean, I'm not going to dunk on LeBron James, but anything short of that. So.
Well, if you start practicing your jump, they say,
yeah, no, that's not
jump,
happening.
But so what inspires you? What are you passionate about? And it doesn't have to be business.
So I think that impact and influence and helping people elevate is really inspiring to me. Like that really pulls me forward emotionally, whether it's with my friends, whether it's with my kids. I think that just adding value and impact to the world, whether it's business or not. The other thing is I love learning. I love growing. I love the journey to my highest self. And so I want to have as many people on that journey with me. And, obviously that's where the coaching platform comes from. But also just, I guess I love being surrounded by really amazing people and seeing what we can accomplish together.
And it's fun to be around like-minded people, and you get to have those amazing conversations. And yes, and that obviously is important to me.
For sure. Yeah, you wouldn't be doing this if that wasn't important to you.
Yeah, and that is a key point of it, is to surround yourself by people who think the same, who want to expand, who want to, help change the world in their own way. And we're all different, but to be able to have a collection of people that are all big thinkers. And I'm a super big thinker, and
absolutely,
I love that. So who inspires you?
Well, my mentors inspire me, and I could name them, but they're just really amazing people. I have a really good friend of mine who owns a strategic financial planning company, and he's one of my mentors. I have coaches that are really mentors to me. Then I have historical figures, like obviously Jesus is a really big inspirer to me, Napoleon Hill. Like there's so many amazing people and amazing thought leaders, and then there's all kinds of people now, like Sarah Blakely and Jesse Itzler, and, you see what Pete Vargas is doing. Like there's so many amazing people in the world that it's such an amazing time to be alive. And it's such a vital time to be alive, where we have to step into our genius and make a difference in the world, because there's a space for greatness. And there's so many amazing people that we could join with on this process. Like I couldn't list all of the people that inspire me, but I'm inspired all the time because I'm always around people like you and all these people that I meet online. Like it's just a really wonderful time to be alive.
For sure. And I don't think there's enough people stepping into their greatness. And that's what we're here for, to help them do that. We know that everybody has greatness. Now it's helping them find that and step into it, because there's, it lights you up. All the coaches, they light up when they talk about what they get to do, because they're finally in their own power. It's like, yay.
And the world needs all of our unique greatness. One of my favorite quotes is, there's nothing noble about shrinking so that other people feel more comfortable. When we let our light shine, it gives other people permission to let their light shine too. And the world needs what all of us have. So.
Yep. Marianne Williamson. I have that on my website.
Absolutely. It's the most beautiful quote ever. So.
I love that one. And the other one I have on my website is The Man in the Arena by Roosevelt. And
yes, absolutely.
Yep. And because it's tough sometimes. It's tough stepping outside the comfort zone into your greatness, because there's lots of growing pains to get there. But there is no bigger fulfillment than, being in that spot and then helping everybody around you to come up with you. Yes.
Right. Well, and I think that it's really important to have a plan in that place, right? Because the vision is very catching and very taking, but the journey isn't always easy. And that's why I build playbooks for my clients, because it's the concept of simplicity solves chaos. And when we know what the next right thing to do, we can keep momentum going. We don't have to get lost in our feelings or the quicksand of our feelings sometimes. If we just know the next right step or the next right play to run, we can keep the ball moving down the field, and we can create that inevitability.
Yeah. And like I said, a lot of people don't have the playbook. They have the dream or the vision.
Exactly.
But
they don't know how to get there. Yep, exactly.
Right. And it gets them stuck a lot of times, or they might fall on their face because they don't have that plan.
Right. So, and when we don't know what to do, we revert back to our old patterns. And a lot of times those aren't the most healthy things in the world.
Right. So last question, big question. If you could leave one tip or golden nugget for everybody listening, and it was the only thing you could say and your only chance to say that, what would that be?
Wow. I mean, like one thing, like that's a really big question.
All right, so
The thing that
a couple things, but
the thing that always comes to my mind is anything is possible and you're capable of anything you desire. And I love the concept of inevitability. With the right plan and the right people around you, your success or whatever you define as success becomes inevitable. It's like a done deal the minute we get that locked in place.
I like that. Where did I hear that? I heard that from somebody else, and I just love that. I love the conviction it's going to happen. So
Right,
no
absolutely.
matter what, it's going to happen. And we
Absolutely.
just have to figure out the way to get there. Yay. So is there anything else that you would like to share with everybody before we talk about your giveaway?
I mean, I think that the big thing is just get surrounded, like you talked about, get surrounded by a group of really amazing people, start dreaming and really explore what your true potential is. Know that you have a really inner genius, a uniqueness, a strategic superpower about everyone that the world needs, and have the courage to step into that. Have the courage to step into your impact and bring people along on the journey that you can link arms with and say, let's make this happen. Let's transform the world by transforming ourselves first and then ripple affecting everyone else.
Awesome. Yay. So you are going to give away a 30-minute call.
Absolutely. Yeah. Anyone who wants. Yeah.
And so, and this would be to help figure out their plan or figure out their vision, or what's the purpose for the call?
Well, so the purpose of the call can be basically anything they want. But what I like to do on these calls is help them cast a vision for what's possible in their life and help them start that process of really decoding their own genius. And so there's really specific assignments and questions that I walk people through that give them a lot of clarity, and it doesn't take a long period of time. And from that clarity, then obviously if they want to build a plan or if they want to run with that, there's a lot of power that comes from knowing yourself deeply and having a really beautiful vision about where you want to go. And it will move you once you cast that vision.
Awesome. And so to get that 30-minute call, you're just going to go to calendly.com/Sean Coe. So it's calendly.com/Sean SEANCOE and book that 30-minute call.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would love to add as much value and help people cast a vision as much as possible. Like I said, we're all in this together, and let's transform the world.
Absolutely. Yay. Well, thank you everybody for being here and listening to this interview. Please share the interview because you know there's so many people with that in their gut, and it could be you, obviously, but don't know how to get there. So Sean is the perfect person for them to reach out. A 30-minute free call, and just see if it fits and see if that's the direction to go. And I love what you're doing. I think what you're doing is invaluable. And
thank you, and thank you for what you're doing. You're amazing, bringing us all together and bringing these messages out there. So thank you to you. You're doing an amazing job.
Thank you. And it's so much fun meeting all of the coaches and their backgrounds and how it pivoted into what they're doing, and literally to see people light up when they get to talk about what they get to do. And I hope for all the viewers out there that you see that in the coaches, that they are just thrilled to do what they get to do. What if everybody was thrilled to get what they get to do? Right?
Absolutely. So powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you so much. And thank you everybody. And we will see you next time.
All right. Bye everybody.
Okay.
Awesome.
So what was that like for you to watch?
Well, it's always super comfortable listening to your own voice, right? It's always fun for me to listen to my own vision and other people's vision. So I love it. Like every time I go back and rewatch an interview that I do, I learn something and I pick out insights that I develop, and, then I'm on the journey too. So I just continue to refine my skills and refine my message. So.
Right. Yep. So can you give us a couple examples of your favorite clients that you've worked with?
Oh, geez. I mean, I think I love to I mean, I'm a sports guy, so I tend to like have people gravitate towards me that have a sports mindset. So I use a lot of sports analogies. So I love working with entrepreneurs. I love working with, I don't know that there's any one specific favorite. Like one of my rules is I like to work with people that I want to have over for dinner and share a bottle of wine with. So all of my clients are like my favorite people. So I couldn't pick one favorite, but I love seeing the transformation of helping them see what's possible and helping them with a strategic plan know it's possible and know it's inevitable, like we talked about. And then they get to stack wins along the process so that we get to celebrate. The whole journey becomes this incredible celebration of all the monumental things that they do, all the milestones, whether it's something financial or business or relationship. Like we're building all of that together to be a championship level, like we discussed.
Right. And so do more of your clients, are you helping them to discover that, or do they know what it is and not sure how to get there?
That everybody's at a different part of that journey. And so like the initial stages are either helping them define what that clarity of that vision is, or if they don't know it, like discovering that. And if they do know it, expanding it as far as possible. So it's a lot of the similar things because like we talked about, we all limit ourselves. And so casting the vision is delimiting yourself in any way so that you can be as expansive as possible.
Right. And I was one that struggled with the vision. I struggled with the vision until it came to onlytheinspired.com. Like I knew I wanted to help people. I didn't know what that looked like. And I struggled with that. And so I think that's one of the reasons why I tried so many different things. And then luckily through pressure, through all of the stuff that happened, all of these ideas came to me. I've never had so many, I call them downloads, as when I came up with Only the Inspired. And it just, and I stopped doing everything I was doing before that because why?
Right.
Because this is my thing. This is my it. And it was a very big thing, a very big it.
Absolutely.
But it was nice once I finally got that vision. But I think a lot of people struggle with, okay, how do I brand myself? How do I exactly know what my purpose is or direction is? And so I love that you help them not only with that, but with all areas of their life.
Well, yeah, because if we don't know where we're headed, then we're going to get lost along the journey. And the deeper and more powerful that clarity is, it'll help you navigate the challenging points, because even if the goal is inevitable, there's still challenges along the journey. It's still growth. There's still work to be done. It's not quote unquote easy per se, even if it's inevitable.
Right. Well, yeah, it shouldn't be easy.
Well, that means we set our aim too small if it was easy, right?
Yeah, it shouldn't be easy. Easy is just getting up and going to work and not planning anything
special.
Yeah, for sure. So just a quick question, what's your favorite sport?
Favorite sport to play is golf. I love to watch basketball and football on the TV. I'm a huge Michigan State Spartan, so go Spartans. So anything Spartans I'm into.
Awesome. Well, I'm not sure if you're going to be here still when Cindy comes on. So Cindy, she's been on the Legends tour.
Nice.
She's been on the LPGA tour, and she married somebody that's on the PGA tour.
That's amazing. Yeah, unfortunately I won't be able to see it, but I'll definitely watch it later. So.
Oh yeah, and she is such a kick in the pants. I absolutely love her, and she's just awesome. So yeah, and I get that you're totally busy, and I appreciate you being here. I love what you're doing. I'm very proud to have you on onlytheinspired.com as one of the coaches to possibly coach on this and possibly coach on the financial aspect, because that is something people have to get under control.
Right. Especially if we're trying to create something great, having your financial plan in place and having like the peace of mind on that plan to anchor to allows you to be able to be creative and really pursue what you want. But if we have stress financially, like it's really hard to do anything amazing creatively if you're stressed out financially. So yeah, like having a great financial plan and that will make financial freedom inevitable is also part of the process.
Financial freedom inevitable.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. And that is like your tagline. It's inevitable. It's going to happen.
Yep.
We're going to make this shit happen.
100%. Yes.
That's awesome. I love that. Very cool. All right. Is there anything else that you want to share before you go? I know you got
No, I'm just really glad and happy to be here. And like we talked on the interview, I just really want to add value. So people, please take advantage of that, the clarity call, book with me. Let's start to put this together. Let's cast a vision. Let's start to build out that plan, because there is greatness inside of you and you are meant to do great things. And it can be inevitable when we have the right plan, whether it's financial, whether it's growth, whether it's relationship, whatever that plan is. Once we have that plan locked in place, the journey gets really fun.
Yes. Awesome. And so just to let everybody know, for one, if you have any questions for Sean, you could put them in the chat, or also under the announcements tab, you'll see the guy swinging his jacket. It says giveaways. So I have all of the coaches' giveaways there. And so, and it goes by day. So his name will be a hyperlink also. So you could just click on his name and instantly be able to follow him or connect with him on Facebook. But for sure, sign up for that 30-minute call. Absolutely. And just see what the possibilities are, if you need a little bit of clarity, and then you could go from there. And then he's also going to be one of the amazing coaches on the site. So just a reminder to everybody, we are launching tomorrow. And so right now you could get your membership for $47 a month. And so the membership could give you, it can help you find that passion. It can help you actually create a business out of that passion. It could help you get healthy. It could help you become financially fit. There are so many opportunities with that membership because you're connected to all of these coaches that help you in all the different areas. And it's absolutely amazing. And I hope you take me up on that. And that is just a limited time offer for the $47. And we're launching, and yay. It might
Absolutely.
not. Yeah. And so we're getting content. There's going to be a bunch of content on the site tomorrow. And then as the week goes, there's going to be more and more. Just letting you guys know, it's a brand new thing, a brand new concept, but it's a coaching platform that's one of a kind. There's no other coaching platforms that do the live group coaching and the courses and the community and all of that combined, and for dirt cheap. $47 a month. That's less than a Starbucks a day for sure. So less than getting your nails filled, less than all of that. Yeah.
Right. All the things we spend all the time.
I know. Yeah. And I work at a bar and restaurant, and $47 for two people to go out to dinner and have a couple drinks. Done.
No problem at all. Right.
Yeah. No problem at all. Yeah, absolutely. Yay. Well, very cool. I appreciate you being here.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been awesome to spend some time with you, and hopefully it added value to people. And I look forward to connecting with everybody on the calls.
Thank you. All right. Welcome. And we will see you later, my friend.
Awesome. It's great to see you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
So just letting everybody know here. Let me hide you. Letting everybody know. So this is the last day of the Only the Inspired Coach Summit. But we have right now 70 coach interviews, and a lot of you haven't seen them all. I am going to keep this group open so we could all keep connecting. I'm going to replay those interviews, and I'm also inviting other coaches to do more interviews, right? So I want to just showcase as many coaches as I can, because there's some niches out there. There's some coaches out there that help in areas that I never knew that there was a coach. And there's people out there with the same problem that the coach went through. That is why the coach is coaching. And so so we have some very highly educated people on the platform. We have people who have been through their own struggles and had to dig and find and research and figure out how to fix their problem on their own. And then there's lots of the coaches who have gotten the trainings out there, so they know strategically how to help you with whatever issue that is, whether that is finding out if you're pre-diabetic or here, let me talk about some of the coaches that are going to be on the site. So we have Miss Amber Mirza. So she is one of the coaches, and she is a business strategist coach. And I absolutely love Amber. She's awesome. Anna Findell, she is another coach on the site, and she actually helps people overcome sexual trauma. So whether they've been raped or molested, and that happens, I think it's 1 out of 3 people in the U.S. Have some sort of sexual trauma. And so how valuable is that to have a coach to help you through that and get over that, the dirtiness and the guilt and the shame and all of that. Carol Smallwood, an amazing health coach. She helps people who have been in the corporate world and have been so overloaded, overstressed, and completely depleted to actually regain their health back. And Christina Latour, and she is a spiritual life coach, and she is just beautiful, and she helps people with mindset and figuring out what their divine purpose is. And I love Christina. And we have Claudia Topawada, and so she experienced being a mom of a very, very highly autistic child, and so autistic that he needed help all the time. So she was the mom and the caregiver, and was there day in and day out for obviously every day of his life. But she used to be an attorney, and after realizing that she spent all of her time focusing on her son, and she has another son also, she realized that she hadn't spent any time with herself. And now, so she helps women empower themselves to take care of themselves, self-care. And so she has written a book. She's almost finished with her second book. Absolutely amazing story. And how many of us get so depleted by give, and you don't give anything to yourself. And then we have the incredible Dr. Joyce Martella, and she was born and raised in a cult. And so she helps people overcome trauma from their childhood, overcome any massive dealings that, if you were ever born in a cult or had major dysfunction in your family, she helps people overcome that. And how valuable is that? How many of us need help with that? We have Ellie Sheffie. She is another attorney, and she is just kicking some major butt. And so she is also a strategic business coach. And then she's also going to do a course on how to write a book, because she just, since COVID started, she's written a book, gotten it published. It's on Amazon. She's been interviewed by Jack Canfield, and she is just kicking so much butt. It's awesome. And then we have Jeannie Hanish, and Jeannie Hanish is going to be on today. She's our last interview of the Coach Summit, and I absolutely love her. And she's been working with families, marriage and family counselor for years, and now she is a family coach. And then we have the beautiful Lachelle Lowe, who is a transformational life coach. And so she helps people find their passion. She's doing meditation courses. And then Lucia Tiffany, like I said, she helps people find out if they're pre-diabetic and helping overcome different infections. She's a nurse. So, and I'll go through more of the list. I have the incredible Cindy Miller showing up. I'm so excited. And we have Melissa Deely. And so I can't wait to, I'm getting my blood work done by Melissa Deely, so she's going to help me with my energy levels and stuff like that. So she is a transformational health coach, and so I'm excited about that. But we have the incredible Miss Cindy Miller. I'm going to bring her up, and then I'll go over more of the list of the coaches that are going to be on the site. How are you doing?
Hello.
Here, can you move it? There we go. I know it's weird.
Get your butt over.
I know. Scoot your butt over. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I just had Sean Coe on here, and he's a big sports freak. And he said, I love to talk about sports. I'm all, what's your favorite sport? He said, my favorite sport to play is golf. I'm all, oh, Cindy's coming up right behind you, but he had to go. And so, yay. Yeah. So how have you been?
I've been great. How about you?
I've been good. Busy girl. So yeah, Miss Cindy has quite the story. I can't wait for you to hear it. We actually had filmed a different interview. It was It was like an hour long, and one of my bloopers is I screwed up, and so we had to re-record that. It's like, dang it, it was just awesome. So this one is, of course, awesome too. So how is life in New York right now?
You know what? It's still nice out. There's a little glimmer of fall, which is nice because we're in Buffalo and it's can be really cold and yucky here. But we've had a great summer. We're very fortunate. I've been very fortunate. The golf is open. It's one of the few things people can do with COVID. So it's been a blessing. We've never been so busy ever. And I'm kind of looking forward to it being a little bit less crazy.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. So we recorded this interview. It was August 8th. And so none of the coaches have seen their interview. So I'm excited to have her watch her interview. Do you want to share anything before we watch your interview?
No, I hope I did okay. That's about it.
You're awesome. So we're gonna play her interview. So anybody watching, make sure that you put in your name, where you're coming in from, and if you have any questions for Cindy. And then when after the interview's over, I'm gonna bring her back up, and then we'll have a question and answer session, and then we'll go from there. So I'm going to ask you to mute your microphone, young lady, and then we'll come back up after the video's done, okay? Hello, everybody. This is Robin Leslie with onlytheinspired.com. Take 4. So we've been having a little computer issues. So I am super excited to bring our next coach on, Miss Cindy Miller. And she is so fun and has such a cool story. So let's get into that. Miss Cindy, in a couple of minutes, describe who you are and how you help people.
I am an LPGA golf professional, and I played on the LPGA Tour, and I currently play on the Legends Tour of the LPGA, basically a place for old people to play for money. And I am a certified behavior motivation and emotional intelligence professional. So I help people, individuals, teams, and corporations. I teach them how to improve performance, and basically to own it, their business, their sport, their life.
Very cool. So what got you started into that, from golf into now helping people and corporations? What event or series of events happened to get you to do that?
You know, it's funny because most of my life I've been told I'm not good enough. My parents used to drag me to the country club. The pool was my babysitter until I got fat in 8th grade, and the cute boys started calling me 10-ton Tessie. So I quickly found an aversion to swimming, and my only other option was the golf course. And I was actually pretty good at it. And my mom and her friends took me to an LPGA Tour event when I was 17. And I saw this girl, Laura Baugh, who was a year older than me, and she was playing on the tour. And she had this huge golf bag with her name on it and these gorgeous clothes and these great shoes. And I was like, that's what I want to do. So the problem was I just wasn't good enough. So I wrote to Golf Digest magazine and the Ben Hogan Company, and I asked if there were colleges that had women's golf teams. And they actually wrote back to me. And the school I remember was, or that really piqued my interest, was the University of Miami. So I wrote to them and I asked if I could play. And they wrote back and said, well, you're really not good enough. And I wrote back again and I said, well, can I try? And they said, well, sure, you can walk on the team. And my dad told me, you've got 1 year to earn a scholarship or you're going to have to come home because we can't afford this. So I walked on the team at Miami. I practiced, and I graduated the #1 player on the team, and we won back-to-back national championships my junior and senior year.
Yay.
So that summer, I tried to qualify for the LPGA Tour, and I didn't make it. Again, you're not quite good enough. So I drove to California by myself, and I played on the mini tour to gain experience to get good enough. And I qualified for the tour that next summer, only to lose my card after just 3 seasons. So of the best in the world, I was one of the worst. Again, you're not good enough. So I got married to a PGA Tour player, and we happen to be the only married couple in the world that have played on the LPGA Tour, the PGA Tour, the Champions Tour, and the Women's Legends Tour. So little did I know, I went from LPGA Tour player to PGA Tour wifey poo, right? And I was kind of like bored. Yeah. So I wasn't thrilled. I got pregnant a month later with Kelly. We now have 3 children, but my parents were both alcoholics. My father used to beat my mother all the time. So I kind of was running away from that, but running towards a dream. And then when I married Alan, Alan was an alcoholic. So I thought, I will fix Alan and he will win a PGA Tour event and we'll live happily ever after. Well, that didn't happen. So we went to a seminar one night, and I was sitting there listening to a woman, and she was talking about how her husband drove her nuts. So I sat closer and I listened, and I thought, I've got one of those. I got one that drives me nuts. So she had written a book called Personality Plus. Her name was Florence Littauer. So as soon as she was done, I ran to the back of the room and I bought her book. And in the back of the book, there was a personality assessment. So I quickly took the assessment for me, and then I took it for my husband, because of course he's helpless and can't take it himself. And then I read off all of his weaknesses to him, and I had a delayed intelligence attack. In fact, I said to him, "You can't help yourself. I thought you acted like this on purpose just to drive me crazy." I never heard of different personalities. So I was so intrigued by it that I went to get certified, right? So I could train this, because I'm like, not the only one that doesn't understand this stuff. So it was really a big deal. Well, the LPGA found out that I was certified in this, so they asked me to teach some workshops. So I did. And then a couple companies asked me if I could teach a workshop, and I did. And I thought, this is really kind of fun, because I was really helping people become aware of why they don't get along with people that are opposite of them. So that was the first part of this, to be honest with you. So my husband ended up getting really, really depressed. Long story short, he tried to commit suicide. He ended up in a couple mental hospitals. So we went through hell, right? And I then went to Phoenix to get certified a little bit deeper in behavior, motivation, and judgment, if you will, and emotional intelligence, to find out what's really wrong with people. Why do they act the way they act? Because basically hurting people hurt people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're not trying to hurt someone, you're just hurting inside so much.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to figure out us, and this stuff saved our marriage, right? But in the meantime, finding that other people are miserable as well. And so when someone comes for a golf lesson, typically they can't hit the ball. And I can say, well, do this, this, and this, and then they hit the ball. But a lot of times they don't believe they can hit the ball. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so what happened was companies would reach out and say, hey, do you do this for teams? I'm like, yeah, I do. So now I do it on purpose for teams. And I love it. I mean, I just absolutely love helping people.
And is that mostly focusing on the personality differences, or just all of those things that you learned?
So here's what happens. So there's 4 different behavior styles. It's a DISC assessment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And DISC is DISC, and D stands for driven, competitive, control freak, which is me. I stands for influencing, which is fun loving, people loving. And they typically walk in the room and say, hi, how are you? And very outgoing and forgetful. S is for steady, slow. They want to research things. So that's my husband, which is opposite of D. So D and S are opposite.
Is that the analytical?
No.
Okay.
He's just slow, steady, sits in the corner, doesn't talk much, appears not to be paying attention, but is really paying attention underneath, like figuring everything out in the background.
Or
And then,
amiable, right?
yeah. And then C is very analytical, perfectionist, needs to have all the details, asks for a million questions. So D's are opposite of S's and C's are opposite of I's. So of course, most of us marry our opposite, because when I first saw him playing in a PGA Tour event, when I had never met him before, I was like, oh, wow, I wish I could swing that slow and smooth, right? I'm like, I've never been that slow and smooth. And so then you marry someone and you're like, oh my God, I wish he would move, right? So what you fall in love with them for, you then attack them for. So that's the behavior style. Now the motivation, there's 7 different motivators. So once you know, there's political, which is power. I want to be in charge. There's theoretical. I love to learn new things. There's economic. And how long do I have to take this class? What do I get out of that? There's aesthetic. I want to make my house look beautiful. So those people could be, they could work on a golf course. They would plant flowers, work in a nursery. They could be an interior decorator, right? Mm-hmm. And then there's altruistic people that love helping people. So it's funny because not all D's are real high economic and powerful, so everybody's different. And when you show a team and expose who they all are, it then becomes funny. It's kind of like you're exposing the elephant and then they all go, oh, no wonder you drive me crazy. So it's really, really cool. And it helps people a lot.
Oh, completely. And I love that. And I would like to learn more about that. I use numerology and the 6 human needs and love languages to in my relationship coaching, because you could totally see differences, and that way you can appreciate, instead of being annoyed with your husband, you could say, oh, I totally understand why you're completely different. I could appreciate you for you, and you appreciate for me, instead of, why aren't you more like me? It's nice to shine that light, and sometimes we don't even understand ourselves. I love that you're doing that. That's awesome. So describe your ultimate vision for your business.
Great question. So I have created a thing called the It Box. And there's 3 things in the box. And my mission is to change the world and teach everyone, to own it, your business, your sport, your life. So the first thing in the box is a nail. You might say
super big nail.
Really big nail. So there's a story of a traveling salesman driving through farmland looking for the Agway plant, and he gets lost. And he sees a driveway, so he pulls down the driveway, and he sees a farmer sitting on the porch, smoking his pipe, sitting in a rocking chair. And laying next to him is this big black lab. So he says, forgive me, but I got lost. Can you help me find the Agway plant? And the guy goes, oh, yeah, sure, no problem. Well, in the background, he hears the dog going, oh, and he thought, he's not growling at me. He's kind of whining, right? The farmer gives him directions, and he says, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. He's walking back to his car, and he hears the dog again. Oh. And he said, forgive me, but I have to ask you, what's the matter with your dog? He said, oh, nothing. He's just laying on a nail. He said, well, why doesn't he get up? He said, because it doesn't hurt bad enough. So some people are sitting on a nail, laying on a nail, and they're whining and complaining about the pain of the nail, but it doesn't hurt bad enough to get up. So in my household, when my husband was going through all this stuff and I was whining and moaning and groaning, I was blaming Alan always. I was never, ever blaming Cindy. And so I found that there was a Legends Tour for former LPGA Tour players, and I saw that there was hope for me, and I stopped picking on him and decided to change me. And when I did that, everything changed. The second thing in the box is a mirror. So once you know why you're getting up, are you avoiding pain or are you seeking reward? So there's 2 motivations, right? I either got to get out of here, which when I left my house, I was leaving my house because I was afraid, right? But I was going towards a dream. So there was multiple motivations there. Mm-hmm. So once you know why, then you have to be willing to look in the mirror. Who am I? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? I happen to be a competitive control freak. I tend to make rash decisions. So now that I know that, sometimes I have to sit back and say, okay, time out. Let's make a plan here. Don't just go do something, right? So that's the second thing in the box. You have to be willing to look in the mirror to see who you really are. And maybe what do you want to do? What do I have to learn to be able to achieve my goal? The third thing in the box is a tiny little seed. So once you know why you're here and what you want and who you are, you have to do something about it. You have to plant a seed, start working on it. You have to put the seed in the light. You have to water it. You have to nurture it. And when you do, there's no telling how good this could end up. So the seed came from me when I was going to counseling for Alan and I had filed for divorce. And I was whining and crying and moaning and complaining about Alan. And I happened to be a Christian, even though I swear like a truck driver. And I was sitting in the Christian guy's office, and the boogers are going in my mouth and the tears are dripping, and I don't have any Kleenex. So the guy gets up and he goes to the bathroom and he gives me a wad of Kleenex. And he goes, Cindy, he said, the Lord just told me to tell you something. And I looked up like a little brat and I go, oh, really? What did he tell you? And he said, he told me to tell you that he's planted a seed in your life and you keep digging it up to see if it's growing. He said to tell you to stop digging up the seed, leave it alone, put it in the light, nurture it and water it. And if you do, there's no telling how good this could end up. And that was 22 years ago. And we did not get divorced. Our divorce papers were torn up and ripped up in the judge's office. He never filed them in the courthouse. My husband hasn't had a drink since 1996.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying sometimes I don't want to kill him. I still want to kill him sometimes. But now I appreciate the differences. So the little it box has changed everything in our life. So I challenge people to own it. And I'm creating the Own It course and the Own It Academy. And I do this program. I've created the Pursue Your It Foundation, and I serve kids in underprivileged schools, and I teach them how to pursue their potential.
I love that. That's beautiful. Yay. So what beliefs do you have that set you apart from other coaches out there? Just other coaches out there.
You know, I think when I was trying to get better, whether it was at golf or at my life, I wanted to go to somebody who had been where I had been. I know how you feel. I felt the same way. Let me show you what I found out. So I think that, what, honey?
Feel, felt, found.
Yeah, I know how you feel. This is whatever. So I believe that sets me apart. I also would warn people, I either repel you or attract you. So I help people that want to get better, get better. So if you really want to whine about why you're not better and moan and groan and keep going over and over and over, and you're not willing to look in the mirror, then I'm probably not your coach. If you want to talk about how you could be better, but you don't want to do anything about it, I'm not your coach. So I know how hard it is to look in the mirror and to see sometimes, you know, like for me, my husband said to me, Cindy, this has nothing to do with your golf swing. This has everything to do with your head. And when I went to go get certified, this company in Phoenix, the owner of the company said, we're doing research on the brain. You want to be a lab rat? I go, absolutely. You know, I want to get better. I don't care. I'll do whatever. So he goes, okay, after lunch, I want you to come back and we're going to go in this office and we're going to put these little electrodes all over your head, right? And I need a list of words that you believe your subconscious mind will react to. I'm like, that's easy. Money, trophies, choking, pursue, protect, right? Winning. So we did. And I sat there and I had all these electrodes all over my head. And I'm like, okay, how do I win this? Right. And he goes, you don't have to do anything. Just your brain's going to react to the words going across the screen. So the words are going across the screen. And I'm like, I don't feel anything. Right. This is like stupid. What are we doing? So the next day he comes back and he goes, come here. He has a whole folder and he shows me a picture of my brain. And under it, the words, I deserve to win. And my whole brain was red. He goes, you don't believe you deserve to win. I said, why? He goes, I don't know. I said, can we change this? Absolutely. How are we going to change this? You got to do brain gyms. You got to do exercises. I said, So now I'm thinking, why would I not believe I deserve to win? Well, probably because you've been told you're not good enough your whole life. You're Cindy from Silver Creek. Silver Creek's like a little podunk town with 2,000 people in it. Who the hell do you think you are? You think you're going to be good? So, it's so funny. I did those exercises and I went back 6 weeks later and my brain turned green. And the funny thing is, 2 days ago, I got an email from a friend of mine from the University of Miami. And he said, they're doing an interview. They want to do an interview about you and Norm Parsons, your golf coach from the University of Miami, who he's still alive, right? And I'm old. He's really old, but he was awesome. And he goes, and I told him the whole story about being a walk-on and everything. And I said, Norm Parsons changed my life because he gave me a chance. And I took that chance. And I was willing to get off the nail, to look in the mirror and plant a seed and do something about it. And now I've achieved things I never thought possible. So the guy at the end of the interview said to me, he said, Cindy, pretend you're looking back and you're now talking to your 10-year-old self. What would you tell Cindy Kessler? So of course I started to cry. And I said, you know what, honey? You have worked your ass off your whole life to achieve things you thought were never possible. And now your job is to help everyone else do the same thing. Great job.
Nice.
So that's what I want to do.
Very cool. Very cool. So what was the hardest thing to overcome when starting your business?
Selling. I don't like to sell.
I
I
feel
don't
like
like to sell.
I don't.
Yeah, and you know what? Because I think I have a bad. So here's the catch. I thought, pushy salespeople. I can't stand pushy salespeople. So I'm taking a sales course, and guess what I'm learning? I have something that can change people's lives. So I just need to tell people I can help you if you're really looking to get help. If you're not looking to get help, I got no outcome for you. I sell outcomes. I sell getting, doing, and being better.
That sure
And if
makes
you don't
it
want,
accurate.
so I don't, at this point now, I'm like learning. I don't have to talk somebody into doing something they don't want to do. I sell outcomes.
Great perspective. So do you have the support network of friends and family encouraging you to do this other business?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. They all like, mother, go. Alan's the same way. Yes.
Very cool. Get out of the house, Mom.
Yeah.
Go do your thing.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite thing about your business?
I help people do things they don't think they can do.
Isn't that cool?
It's awesome. I had a woman, again, the golf lesson yesterday. She's like, I have never hit it that good ever. She just got a new shoulder, two new hips, a new knee. She's probably 73, 74 years old. Just absolutely beaming, giving them hope, no matter how old they are. It's never too late to get better.
No, it's never too late. Oh, that's awesome. Yay. So what inspires you? What are you passionate about? And it doesn't have to be business.
I love my family. I'm grateful that everyone's happy and healthy. And I really am pretty content, which, I've never said that before. I want to help people, but what am I inspired by? I'm inspired by the challenge to grow it. I feel like I'm called to do it. I don't want to die and have Jesus say, you stupid chicken, why didn't you do what I tell you to do?
This was your seed.
Yes.
You left it in
the tree's getting ready to grow and you're not watering it. What are you doing? So I'm on your show to help other people realize they can do and be better.
Yay.
Spread the word. So, by the way, they can go to cindymillerinc.com/better.
/better.
Better.
Got you. So who inspires you?
My kids inspire me. My husband inspires me. Claire Bishop. She's a nice woman who used to be the CFO of a big trucking company. She inspires me. I can't think.
That's all right. That's all right. That's plenty. That's plenty. So if you could leave one tip or golden nugget for the people listening, and it was the only thing that you could say and your only chance to say it, what would that be?
Does it have to be one line?
Nope. Nope.
That you don't have to live a life of quiet desperation. You were born for a reason, and everyone has something that they're really good at and why they were put on earth. And many people have been avoiding it. It's time for you to face it. It's time for you to find it. It's time for you to own it.
Get off the nail, look at the mirror, plant the seed.
And let's go. And you know what? You could be so happy. You know, I used to try to be more professional. And that's not me. I would trip and fall. I teed off at a tournament one time, and I'm watching my ball, and I'm walking, and I trip over the flower pot and fall right on my butt with all these people watching me. So every time I've ever tried to be professional, I screw it up. So I'm not trying to be professional anymore. I'm okay with being me. So it's okay for you to be you. Mm-hmm. And it's such a blessing. It's such a, oh, this is great. Everybody doesn't have to like me. I don't care if you like me. Mm-hmm. I'll be nice to you anyway, but I don't have to make you like me.
No, it's so freeing just to be who you are.
It really is. And try to be the best you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Even if it annoys people or if they think you should act a certain way, who cares? You have to be you, and that's the only way to be. Yep. Awesome. So is there anything else you would like to share? I know you have an assessment that you want to give away. Is there anything else you want to share before we talk about that? Or just talk about the assessment?
We can talk about the assessment. And it's listed at cindymillerinc.com/better.
Okay, I thought that was /you. YOU.
We
but
changed it.
It's under better. Okay, awesome. That's good to know. And so is that the personality assessment, or what is that exactly?
Yes. So if they want to learn more about how to own it and take the assessment, it's free. It's a preview version, so I don't have to pay for it, neither do you. But if they choose, once they get that, if they choose to do more, they can do more, and they can purchase the full assessment and unlock it.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. I appreciate you being here so much. And, you are just a joy to talk to, and you're super fun, and I love you for you.
Thank you, Robin. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. So for everybody out there, if you want to learn a little bit about the DISC assessment, and it's just a preview, it really is very enlightening to know what kind of personality you are, and then also people in your household. And, my man and I, we are total opposites. He is total leadership, honesty, and I am the big softy, touchy-feely, emotional girl. And so he's a perfect balance. But sometimes, he might get frustrated if I'm not more like him. But knowing that about you and about your partner is so beneficial, and just awareness of the differences. And so I love the personality test and all that kind of stuff. So yay, I love that. So make sure that you share this video, and check out Cindy's website. So it's cindymillerinc.com, cindymillerinc.com. /better. And I will put that in the group under giveaways. And so you'll have all of her contact information there. And then she is also in the group in the chat, so you could reach out to her. And I love that part about the summit is all the coaches are right there. So it's super awesome. So thank you very much for being here. Thank you, Cindy, so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And we'll see you guys later. Okay. So what was that like for you?
It was kind of cool.
Yeah?
It was cool.
Yeah. Lisa Hamill saying, Blaine, hello to both of you. Great question. So important. That's super cool. Wow, I love that. Amen. Purpose. Yes. Awesome. So important. Thank you. You're welcome. Awesome. Yeah. So what came to your mind when you're watching that? Anything? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Not a whole lot. It's, needless to say, I live the story. I think that it's very important for people to want to get better, and I'm not sure everyone's willing to look in the mirror. So sometimes the nail doesn't hurt bad enough to want to get better. Mm-hmm. But when the nail hurts bad enough and they have to do something about it, then they will typically get up. So I find that a lot of people, don't really want to get up. But once the nail hurts bad enough, they've got to do something.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I love that you're one of those that kept raising your hand. Yes, I'll do the brain test. I'll do this. I'll do this because I want to be fixed. And I think there's a lot of us that do that. But then a lot of us also think, well, I know everything about myself. So what were the biggest aha moments when you did the personality test that you found out about yourself that you didn't know before that? Because a lot of times
I don't know that I didn't know because I know. Correct. And I think I knew most of the stuff about me, that I could be bossy and a witch and all the bad stuff because people had told me that, of course. But I think the biggest deal was to take accountability and responsibility for my life. So my actions had to take that responsibility. And I think that was the biggest difference and the biggest change.
Mm-hmm. I should have gotten that book out. I know I told you, I don't know if I told you on the first or the fourth interview that we did that I got that Florence Littauer book. It must have been 30 years ago. And, one of the very first books I got when I was in Amway, about personalities. And I don't know if I don't remember much about it because that was a long time ago. But I love finding details about myself and details about your family. When you think you know your family, just like you didn't know why you're so frustrated with your husband. And then just by doing the personality thing is like, oh my gosh, that totally makes sense. Right. You're not just lazy and whatever. You're completely opposite of me. And it gives you that heartfelt understanding of them. And now it's just them not trying to annoy me. This is who they are. And then I love the heartfelt understanding part where, because a lot of times we just make assumptions.
And everything else makes much more sense.
Yep. And you have that. Yeah. And you have that respect for them. Yay. So what are you doing now? Have you been doing any big events, or you've just been doing the golf thing right now?
Been doing the golf thing and going to have a challenge at the end of the month, the Own It 5-day challenge.
Yay.
Sign up for cindymillerinc.com/better. And if you do that, then you will have access to get the free 5-day challenge. It kicks off Monday, September 28th. So we're getting ready for that.
Oh, very cool. Are you excited about that?
Totally. I can't believe how much work it takes to get all this stuff organized. So God bless you, Robin, for doing all this. But yeah, very excited. 5 days free, how to own it. We're going to talk about beliefs, mindset, goals, who am I, and how to make a plan for your success.
That's awesome. Yay. And so it's just training, and then you do all the homework on each one of the days in a group setting. That's great.
Yep.
Yeah. And I encourage everybody to do that. And anytime you get insights like that, and then a strategic plan of how to, identify and then make a plan and get it done. That's awesome. Yay. Yay. I'm having a hot flash. I don't know if you guys have figured this out about me, but I am a total open book. That's why my hair is up.
Love you.
And I find it so freeing. A lot of us pretend to be perfect, and nobody's perfect. And I find connection, and because I'm sure there's a lot of other people right out there right now having a hot flash, and they're all, "I get you, sister."
Absolutely.
Yeah. So awesome. I love what you're doing, Miss Cindy, and I think you're fantastic. Is there anything else that you want to share? Yeah, I keep doing that to you. She's all no. Yeah.
You have the courage to own it. That's what I would challenge people to stop whining about their circumstances and be willing to get up off the nail and look in the mirror and do something about it. Plant a seed, water it. And if you do, you can change your whole life and probably everybody's life around you, because you won't be miserable and whining and complaining all the time.
Or making them miserable because you're not, owning your own attitude. And yes, and she's not soft around the edges, but we love her because she's not, but then right. I'm sure you have to be gentle. I'm one of those big old softies, and, I could get offended easily. And then being around, I wouldn't say you're abrasive, but you're to the point. You know what I mean? You're to the point. But then you got to love that. You got to respect that, because there's no fluff. You get what you get, and this is me. Yeah.
And that's why I say either attract you or repel you. And that's okay. For the right person, I can help you.
Mm-hmm. Right. And that's all you want. You don't want to attract people who are not going to get you. Then it's just going to go nowhere. You're going to, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Yay. Awesome. Very cool. And I would love to have you be one of my coaches on the site. So let me know what you think, sister.
I don't have a course yet. I got to get the course ready.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's ways to work around that. Yeah. So awesome. And I wanted to share. So I went through a course, and I told you a little bit about numerology in the thing. And so I went through a course, and it was called Own It by a lady named Fia Lynn Crandall. And I think she's named it something else, but it gave me so much enlightening things about me, because sometimes we prejudge ourselves. And when you find those, and it wasn't personalities, it's all about numerology. And like I said, I've been through so many businesses and so many courses, and I used to think of myself as a flake. And then when I realized that that is who I am, I'm a jack of all trades. I like to learn everything. Then I had a whole new respect for myself. And I think when you find those little nuances about yourself, then you're going to respect yourself some more, and instead of judging yourself. And it's all about finding your unique talents, your unique personality traits. And everybody's different, just like you said. Everybody's different. And it's wonderful when you can have that amazing clarity with yourself. And then Absolutely. You can move forward in the perfect way for you, not the perfect way for somebody else, because your path is going to be completely different than your husband. Even though you guys met on the golf course, your personality, you just kind of intersected.
Yeah, makes such a difference.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Very cool. Yeah. Awesome.
Freedom.
Awesome. Very cool. Thank you so much for being here, Miss Cindy.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
All right. And I will talk to you later. For everybody, I will put Cindy's giveaway under the announcements tab in the group. And so just look for the giveaways, and she's going to be right under there. I'll have the cindymillerinc.com/better. Make sure that you get that assessment. And then when you do that, then you're automatically going to be enrolled in the challenge, right?
Well, they'll get a link to enroll in the challenge for sure.
Okay. And then if you have any questions for her, you could put them in the chat. She could come back and check that out, or just click on her name and it automatically connects you to her on Facebook. Then you could send a friend request or whatever. Yeah, which is awesome.
Great.
And I love the fact, I love the fact that all the coaches are right there in the group and they're reachable, and you could start a conversation. And I think that's just amazing.
Thanks, Robin. Have a great day.
You're welcome. Have a good one. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Okay. All right. I just love her. She's just a kick in the pants. So let's go on with the list of the coaches that are going to be on onlytheinspired.com so far. So far, we have 20. And so we have my dear friend, Reg Lenny. And so we've gone through all of the interviews of these coaches, but I don't know if you guys have seen them all. Reg Lenny, I met him 2014, and he is a high performance coach. He is a total body healer with all sorts of different modalities, from massage to yoga to all anything you can think of. He's been through 12 or 14 different trainings and traveled around the world on how to heal the body naturally, how to live naturally. And he's a vital coach. And he used to travel the world with all sorts of actors. And he's worked with Richard Branson. He's worked with 5 different royal families. He's got some mad skills, and you don't want to miss his trainings. And then we have Rish Mitra, and I absolutely love what he's doing. He is a men's mindset coach. And so he had this awakening when his 2-year-old finally said, "Dada," and he was drunk. And what I love about the coaches, they're honest. They're open books, just like I'm telling you, I'm having a hot flash. They're open books about their life, because that is what connects us. And so when he realized at that moment that he hadn't healed from his childhood, some of the ways that boys are raised is unfair. It's like a bias, right? So if a girl, if a little girl falls down and skins her knee, she gets cuddled and coddled, and it's okay, sweetie, it's okay to cry. But if a little boy does that, it's a whole different situation. They're taught to kind of stuff down their emotions. Don't cry, man up, rub some dirt on it, be a boy, be a man. And he realized that going through his whole life, and certain times he needed to actually have a place where he could talk about his emotions. It wasn't available because it's so out of the norm. And so he's changing that. And I absolutely love that. So we have the beautiful Tiffany Hackman. We had her a couple days ago. And so she is a brand strategist coach, and she helps businesses systematize their business. And so if you're getting to the place where you're needing to start hiring people, she started off as a virtual assistant. She'll actually help you create the system. So as soon as you hire somebody, that system is in place, that training's in place. And so you just put them through that, and that's going to save you so much time, and it gets them trained in the way that you want to train them. And then you could expand your business so much faster when you have everybody trained the right way by you, and you set up that system once. It's amazing. And we have Wasim Debussy, and so he loves to help beginning entrepreneurs get to their first $10,000 a month level. So he takes you right from the beginning, and he's a business coach. And so he takes you through all sorts of processes, and his goal is to get the new coach or the new business owner up to $10,000 a month. And that is his sweet spot. So that is what he does. And we have the beautiful Meredith Vigers. And she is also a business coach and very successful. She has a very successful catering business in Texas, but she helps you actually get out of your own way and stop as a business owner wearing every hat, right? Because I have owned a beauty salon and I wore every hat, except for luckily I didn't cut any hair. You wouldn't want me to cut hair, but I did body wraps. But as a business owner, sometimes we could be working 80 plus hours a week and just exhausting yourself because you're trying to be the accountant, you're trying to be the janitor, you're trying to be the hire and firer, you're trying to do all of the aspects of the business, and it really hurts your business by spreading yourself so thin, and it hurts you physically. And so she helps businesses get out of their own way and start to hire and expand their profit margin. And so you don't want to miss her training. We had Sean Coe today. Absolutely love Sean and how he helps you find that superpower in every area of your life and balance that life and put you on a strategic plan where you're going to get everything accomplished. It's inevitable. It's going to work. I love what he was doing. And we have the beautiful Tracy Biermann, and she really focuses on helping moms connect with their children and connect with themselves. She's a life coach. And and so she is really a mom empowerment coach because sometimes we could lose ourselves being moms. And then we have the brand new coach, yay, Dwayne Crabtree. And so he actually helps people unplug from tech. So there's a time and a place for you to actually, be on your phone, be on the computer. He found himself on his phone, on his computer all the time, even at the dinner table, even on vacation. And when you do that, when you're connected to your phone, because it's an attachment, you can't, set it down, you disconnect from your friends and family right in front of you. And so it created health problems for him. So he helps people do that. He's a speaker and a life coach. And so I am just so excited about all of the coaches that are going to be on the site. And as the site gets launched, so tomorrow we're launching right now as we speak, and we are getting content on the site. And so that's going to progress as the weeks go. And so what you see tomorrow is going to expand from that point. And it's going to really start with courses on the site, and then we will have the live group coaching. And so when you click on a coach's name or picture, then you can read their bio, you could see all of their social media, and then you could see all of the courses that they do right there on their bio page. So you could click on a course. If they are going to do live group coaching, we are going to start that on Facebook in Facebook groups until the website expands out. And the vision is so big for the website, it has to go in phases. And this is the best way to get this done, because I was going to have to start a WordPress site, and then once the site was done, then we'd have to switch everybody over. So I'm just letting you know what that's going to look like. But right now, because we are in the baby growing stages, that is why we're offering the $47 a month, which is just a screaming deal. And I hope you guys know, just by one coach, by one course, one coach, one live group coaching, all of those individually are worth more than $47 a month. And so what can that do for you? What do you want to accomplish with your life? Do you want to just be inspired by what you get to do? Do you want to be an inspiration for your kids and your family? Do you want to leave a legacy? Do you want to just be healthier and happier? Do you want to be able to play with your grandkids? Because the way your health has been moving right now, you can't do that. Some of us get so out of control, not on purpose, but through years of doing the same thing over and over. And you might try this new program, and I'm talking about losing weight. losing weight and getting healthy. There's so many programs out there that, it's the quick fix, it's the pills, it's the, do this exercise and it's going to work. Health coaches will show you that it's not just a simple pill that you take, or it's not just a simple workout. It's a whole entire body change. It's a lifestyle change. It's getting more sleep. It's getting more water. It's getting those nutrients that you need. It's stopping the crap food that is so addictive that we all love. But coaching really is so very valuable. And all of the coaches actually walk you through. They take you step by step on how to do this, because without our health, we have nothing. I think Melissa Deely, she's one of the coaches. She said, people have, hundreds of wishes until they don't have their health. And then they have but one, and that is to be healthy. And without your health, you're going nowhere. And then we also have all the business coaches. And so I hope you really pay attention to this and take advantage of the $47 a month right now. And that price is going to stick with you as long as you're a member. And that can help you. That can help your husband or wife. That can help your kids. And so the courses are going to expand. The coaches are going to expand. And it's just going to get bigger and better and more beautiful. And so, and I'm just super excited. And the community, it's a community of people that are there to help you, to love you, to encourage you. And it's the cheerleaders that we all look for in life. And, sometimes we don't have any cheerleaders. And that's one of the reasons why I asked the question is, do you have the support network of friends and family supporting you in your ventures? And it's very frustrating. It's very discouraging to not have those cheerleaders. Just like Cindy was saying, she was told her whole life she wasn't good enough. I've had several of the coaches on here that were told you're not going to amount to anything. You're not good enough. You don't have any talents. And they let that stick with them for 30 or 40 years. And how many of us have that situation? And so I really want you to pay attention to that. And we should have Miss Jeannie coming up here pretty soon. So I might start her interview and then see if she can join us at the end. So I'm going to do that. And she is going to be one of the coaches on the site, and I love her. She's beautiful. She's a sweetheart, and I am grateful to have her. So I'm going to start her interview, and then as we go through, if you have any questions for Miss Jeannie, make sure that you put those questions in the chat, and I will have her answer those when she gets back. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to show the interview. This is Robin Leslie with OnlyTheInspired.com, and I have the beautiful Miss Jeannie Hanish with me today. So I can't wait to hear her story and what she coaches on. She's been doing for a long, long time, and we all need a little bit of help in that area. So in a couple of minutes, please describe who you are and how you help people.
Hey, Robin, thanks so much for having me. Hello, everybody. I have been at this a long, long time, which makes me feel a little bit old, but my name is Jeannie Hanish, and I am a parent and family coach. I have been coaching for over 10 years, and I also do have a degree in family therapy. And I'm a mom. I'm a mom of four kids and a daughter-in-law. And so I'm really passionate about guiding parents and children on creating a successful relationship journey. Not only connected relationships with our children, but also helping our kids have connected and successful lifelong relationships as well. The very thing that all of us parents want in life, right, is harmony in the home and a family that turns into friends as our kids get older. So I'm growing. Yes. So I'm growing my business right now by building a website with some online digital courses, as well as some virtual parent lifestyle coaching. So I'm taking it from the old school ways and I'm bringing it forward into the 2020. So.
And baby steps, baby steps.
Baby steps.
Tech is a whole different animal. So how did you get started in this business? Was it an event or a series of events that happened to make you want to do this?
Sure. So actually, I believe it's my soul work. It's been my calling since I was a young child. You know how some kids bring home wounded animals, and I always had a heart for others and kids who had issues at home, emotional problems, kids who just didn't really seem to fit in at school. And since being a child, I've always been everyone's confidant. So it really has been a natural progression and a natural path for me. As I got older, I just found myself having a really strong interest in the brain and in behavior and in relationships. So getting a degree in psychology just interested me a lot. And just pairing that with the compassion and the interest in wanting to help other people navigate life, I became certified as a coach. And I still wanted to learn, so I decided to go on to grad school and study marriage and family counseling.
Well, and that's an area that we all need to learn, and most of the times we wing it.
Yes.
We do what our parents did, or we do the opposite of what our parents did. But, you know, and there are books out there, but it's really an area that we could use help, you know, especially keeping that harmony and, you know, how do you deal with the kids that are totally opposite from each other and that whole inner household harmony.
Those dynamics, right? And you know what? I don't have all the answers. I'm the first to admit it. And with our 4 children, our kids are spaced out in age. You'll probably hear a little bit more about that later on in the interview, but we kind of joke that we have 2 families, 2 kids that were close together in age, a big gap, and then 2 in the end that are a little closer in age again. And I always tease my older kids that I had no idea what I was doing with them, and the little 2 are lucky because I had things a little more figured out by then.
Yeah, I think the oldest one, normally, you know, they get the hardest parenting. And then, you know, by the time the baby gets there, it's like, yeah, whatever. I'm a baby.
I'm a number 4 out of 5. So yeah, that resonates with me.
So, yeah. So describe your ultimate vision for your business.
My ultimate vision is, oh, that's kind of a tough one. So to continue to grow and build and create this online platform, online courses or mini sessions that people can do online in their own time, nothing overwhelming. It's kind of like extracting microdoses out of my 25 years of knowledge and experience, both professionally and as a parent. So my vision is kind of a parenting fast track, if you will.
Awesome. And that would help so many people. And when you go digital, yeah, it's not one-on-one time necessarily. You can help so many more people that way.
Yeah, it's a much farther reach, which I'm really excited about that.
Yeah. So what beliefs do you have that kind of set you apart from your competition, from other family, marriage, counselors, coaches? We all have our different specialties. What do you think yours is?
Sure. I have an all-encompassing approach, really looking at the family as a whole and creating daily wins with just really small changes. So when I became a mother, I immediately set out on this journey of believing that it was the one thing in life I wasn't going to get a do-over on. And my personal journey is taking me through miscarriage, infertility, then successfully having 4 amazing, healthy children, and professionally working with hundreds or probably actually thousands of families, being the hangout house for our kids, friends, and to becoming a mother-in-law, and encountered and navigating so many seasons that families go through together. So I think that culmination of, that professional, but that very hands-on approach where I've wanted to lock myself in the bathroom and cry too. Like, I get it. There's no shame in anyone's game. It's just a matter of, believing that when we know better, we do better.
Mm-hmm. And I like what you said about being a parent. You don't get a do-over. What you do is sit with the child, and you can try and tweak as you go, obviously, but yeah, you're trying to mold this human.
Yeah, and what a tremendous responsibility, right? And yet kids really are forgiving, and our mistakes, we can slip by with a lot, and they don't necessarily know, but I think we all as parents strive and want to do better. And as parents, we all think to ourselves, well, am I screwing my kid up? I'm gonna have to pay for years of therapy. And so I think, it's the biggest responsibility, and we get a owner's manual with every single thing in life, but no such thing with our kids. So just trying to help families make it a little simpler and easier.
I love what you're doing.
Thank you. I do too.
Well, which helps.
Like I said, a lot of people would say mindset or fear when it comes to that sort of thing. And starting my business originally, I had none. I knew it's what I wanted to do. I was very passionate about it. I loved learning about it. And so that side of things was easy. And to be honest, I feel like I'm encountering the hardest part right now, 12 years in, I guess I would say, into having actually a business. The hardest part is now trying to take what was a one-on-one business and trying to take that into this technology phase. And during this COVID situation, taking all of my experience and all of my knowledge virtual. So I was joking with you earlier before we started about how, I'm kind of that age where I should probably know technology better than I do, and old enough to use it as an excuse, but trying to take this business on a virtual platform is probably the hardest thing that I've done so far.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's one of the reasons that I'm creating Only the Inspired, because it is an issue for many, 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 many people. And it's not just
alone.
Yes, it's not, it's not little things. When you go online with a business, it's email marketing systems, email messages, you have Zoom calls, you have all websites, you have lead page. There's all sorts of things, and it's very overwhelming, especially if you aren't used to it, and you are not alone in that area.
Which is good news. It's comforting. Hopefully, people who are looking for my expertise can be a little bit forgiving on that. I don't know who coined this phrase, but I've heard it before, embrace the suck. And that's kind of where I'm at right now with this whole technology part, is I'm just having to embrace this part that's really hard and work my way through it.
I think it might be Brene Brown. I think I heard that recently, embrace the suck.
That's where I'm at.
I gotcha. So, Do you have the support network of friends and family encouraging you to go online and do this coaching business, or is this something that you feel compelled to do and you're doing it no matter what?
Both, actually. I'm doing it no matter what, and I fortunately am blessed with a lot of support from family and friends. I moved from Minneapolis, Minnesota a few years ago to Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. And so ironically, I still get a lot of friends and family from all over. Hey, we're going to get our kid a cell phone. What rules do you suggest? Hey, we're thinking about getting our kid a cell phone. How old do you think they should be? And, you know, we really respect your opinion. We want to hear what you have to say. And I'm so busy with family and friend questions that they've been really encouraging me, you know, man, you're so helpful. You really need to try to do this and reach more people. And I started getting the idea of virtual even before COVID, just because with friends and family, I've been getting on FaceTime and doing a lot of that for a while now. So if I'm doing it for friends and family, I can do it for anyone, right? But yeah, they've always been really supportive of me and of my business.
Good. And what a weather shift from Minnesota to Florida, huh?
I love it. I'll take it. That was one of the big drivers, was the weather shift.
Was the warm weather? Yeah, I don't blame you at all. I would much rather sweat than be cold.
That's true of me also. So come on down to Florida, Robin. You're welcome anytime.
All right. So what is your favorite thing about your business?
My favorite thing is that I really enjoy the interaction with people and empowering parents, giving them hope that things can be different. And I love hearing their success stories. And I really think of it as it is their success stories. It isn't my success story. They are the ones who do all of the work. And so my favorite part is hearing how that work pays off for them. And it's really so important to me that we have connected families in our country and in our world. And family is just a really big thing for me. And so to know that I can contribute in any small way to make any home happier, that is absolutely my favorite part.
Oh, I love that. And I think that's so important. So what inspires you? What are you passionate about? And it doesn't have to be business.
Well, it's probably going to sound kind of like, really, that's your best answer, but it's my family. And that really is the truth. I mean, anything, you know, anytime that I can get together with my kids, I mentioned having a daughter-in-law, so that means I have a son that's married, and having kids that no longer have to be with me. They don't have to call me. They don't have to see me. They don't have to want to spend time with me. And the fact that they do is just the greatest gift ever. And so knowing that we are in a new era right now with coronavirus, and families are coming together in completely different ways than before. And this is going to change family life one way or another. And my goal and my vision is to be a part of that movement for positive change in family life. And so my own family and my business are really my biggest inspiration.
That's why you're doing what you're doing.
It is.
Oh, sorry about that echo.
I can hear.
Yeah. So who inspires you?
Well, this summit is amazing. Just talking with you for a second before we got started, just to hear how you're launching this summit it's very impressive, and I am very inspired by it, and I'm very grateful to be a part of it.
Thank you.
Yes. And so, you know, women like yourself inspire me a lot, but more specifically, I do have mentors in many areas of my life, people that I look to who make me want to be a better version of myself. So when I was very little, my grandmother, my dad's mother, was everything to me. And she passed away when I was a little girl also, but I really feel like I carry a big part of her with me in everything that I do every day. And so she definitely inspires me. And Mother Teresa is somebody that I've always wanted, just if I could be a shred like Mother Teresa. Tony Robbins, I'm a big Tony Robbins fan, and Dean Graziosi. And then more, I don't want to say realistically, but people that I actually spend time with. I'm a part of a local health and wellness tribe here in my community. And so I love to hang out with them. And I like bringing that into my parent coaching as well, because I think wellness is a really big part of family life. And we need to take shortcuts a lot of times, right? And we shortcut ourselves a lot on sleep and nutrition and areas we should not be shortcutting on. So I have a group of local people here that help keep me on track with those things. And of course, again, my husband and my children.
Great. And I know I've shortcutted lots of times. You know, you're busy, you have 5,000 things. All right, let's make mac and cheese.
Oh, girl.
It's quick. Everybody likes it, but there's no nutrition, but you know.
It's so funny. So my best friend who has kids our age, and, you know, our kids grew up together. And if, you know, her kids were always at my house or my kids were always at her house, and her kids literally joke about when they were all at our house, it was pizza. When they were all at her house, it was fish sticks. And it just is what it is. Like, some days are like that. But again, knowing better, I'm trying to do better. And so on my website and just in my Facebook group and things, I'm trying to also help bring some nutritional shortcuts to family life.
And that will be very helpful, I'm sure. So the last question, if you could leave one tip or golden nugget for the people listening, and it was the only thing that you could tell them and your only chance to say it, what would that be?
Be intentional. Be intentional. Be intentional with your time, and be intentional with your words. And, you know, maybe that could even be just a challenge that I leave you with, is for the next 24 hours, be intentional. Let your children overhear you say to someone else that you'll get back to them because you're spending time with your family right now. Just something that simple, free of charge, $0, makes your child feel so valued, and they will beam. You may not be there to see it if you're letting them overhear you, but they will beam to know that you've put them first. And so in just a single short sentence, be intentional.
I love that. Well, so is there anything else that you would like to share before we talk about your giveaway? I always stump people with that question. They're all,
just that I'm really excited, and you know, I am excited about this new leg of things. It certainly adds some variety into, you know, I was very much in a comfort zone until taking all this virtual. So I'm really excited. I embrace the opportunity. I look forward to working with people and just really serving families.
and you could tell it really truly comes from your heart. You could tell even from when you were little, it comes from your heart, and that's all you could tell. It's your mission, and it's perfect that you're doing that, and so many people need help in that area. You know, I was definitely not the perfect parent, still am not, and I'm not saying you're perfect, but you know, to help, you know, we all need help in that area. It's you know, how do you deal with things that you've never dealt with, and how do you help your kids deal with certain things like that? I love what you're doing. I think it's beautiful. So
Thank you.
You're welcome. And so you're going to give away your marvelous morning. So do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So to me, it's just I'm not a morning person. I'm just going to throw that out there right off the bat. So if you're thinking, oh, marvelous morning, I'm not a morning person, me either. And so I will be putting some digital courses on my website that are going to be building blocks to each other. That Marvelous Morning is my free giveaway to everyone who's listening today. And it's how to get your day started and your family out the door on the best foot possible, decreasing stress in the morning, having everybody be organized and ready to roll, and also actually getting to spend just a little bit of time with your kids in the morning versus just this air horn of a wake up and everybody's running around like chickens with their heads cut off and screaming about out the door, we're going to be late. Just taking that and getting rid of it for anyone who's willing to hear and implement the course. So it's to bring peace and tranquility into your mornings and getting everybody out the door on time.
That would have been very helpful.
I learned the hard way.
Don't we all? Yes, that would have been very helpful instead of, come on, we're late. And, and I'm one of those, I was born a month late and haven't been early too many days since then. And then my girls, they take after me. And so, yeah, when you got three people that are running late constantly, then yeah, it's stressful. It's frantic in the morning. So I love that. And so to get that Marvelous Mornings, you're going to go to www.innertribecoaching.com/inspired.
Yes.
So that's INNERTRIBE coaching, COACHING.com/inspired, INSPIRED. Love that word.
Well, yes, ma'am. And that inspired part is the really important part because that's what gets them this course for free.
Yay.
So the inspired part is so that I know that they came to me from this summit. And so that's what gets them the course for $0.
Beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate you. I think what you're doing is very beautiful and you're going to help so many people on a much broader range, worldwide spectrum, hopefully. And thank you again for being here. And everybody, please share this video. There's, all the parents out there could use a little bit of help, with even just a minor little piece in the morning. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Where it's not, the whip, cracking the whip. Let's go. That would just make every day for, everybody involved so much better to get a good start versus, just intense mornings sometimes.
Yes. And we do all have them, that's for sure. But like I said, just little micro doses of things to create a new win in your life. And so getting those mornings to be a win for you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you guys. Please share the video and we will see you next time.
Thank you so much, Robin. Thanks, everyone.
Okay. There she is. How you doing, beautiful?
I'm awesome, Robin. Thanks. How are you?
I'm good. You look like an angel right now.
This is one of my favorite paintings in my house, and I was standing here thinking, did they look like golden wings?
Kind of. It kind of looks like the halo, and then you kind of look like you have wings, and it looks very beautiful.
Thank you.
It's a great
It's
backdrop.
also the background in the course, so.
Hey, well, you got my door right here. It's either here if my man's home so I could, focus and he doesn't keep walking by, or it's downstairs if he's not here.
It is what it is.
So, yeah. It is totally. So did you get a chance to watch
I was with you live during the whole thing.
Nice. So was it weird?
Was really
fun for you? Or
true confession, we interviewed that early and I wasn't finished with my course at the time, as you know. And so I was kind of on pins and needles thinking, I hope I don't say something that's not, I didn't come to fruition in the course, but the whole time I was like, that's true. Yep, got that, nailed that. Okay, perfect. We're good to go.
Well, and I think it was a push for a few people, right? So it's like, do you have a giveaway? I have an idea for one. I'm all, well, can you get one ready? And so, a lot of the coaches is like, all right, I need to make sure I have it ready by, my interview day, which is great. And sometimes we need the little firecracker under our butt to get it done.
To really deliver on my giveaway, which I hope that I did. And so, I could have been done a lot sooner, but I kept pushing it, wanting to make it just a little better. And so anyway, I ran it to the wire, but anyway, I think we're good.
Yay. And I look forward to it. And so make sure everybody, if you have any questions for Miss Jeannie, that you put them in the chat. And then I will also put her giveaway under the giveaways tab, was under the announcements in the Coach Summit group under the giveaways. And so you'll be able to find that at the very bottom, because it's everything's going by days. And so you could get the link to the Marvelous Mornings. And then you could also, her name will be linked up. So you could click that and be able to follow her and all that. So, which is awesome.
Nice.
I love that part.
Me too. And yeah. I think, am I the wrap up? Am I the end caboose to the whole summit?
You are it.
Hey, we should be like cheersing, some champagne, something.
We should. I got my my firewalk coals right here.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's on my list. I have not done it, but I intend to.
Oh, and you really have to go to a live event.
Yeah.
And I had a chance to crew the UPW virtual, but I would have had to cancel everything for the week. And I couldn't do that because I had all these interviews that I was doing. It's like, I'm so missing my Tony. But the live events and, having a chance to walk across the hot coals, and it's the scariest, most thrilling thing you can possibly do. And that's on day one. And then the next morning, everybody kind of struts, we just walk across fire. It's like, woo!
They're not hobbling on blistered feet, you're telling me? Spoiler alert, my feet aren't going to burn when I do it.
Well, I had hot spots the first 3 times, the last time no. So I know how to do it now, because if you're not focused, and it's a fear, you're walking across 2,000-degree hot coals and you really have to psych yourself out. You can't look at the ground. You have to, and so what I see a lot of people doing, because when I was crewing, I got to crew 3 times, and it's called the Silent Angel. And so I stand next to them as they walk the coals. I walk with all of the people on my lane. And so you probably have 300 people on your lane. And it's so exciting to walk with them as they're walking the coals. But some people, they're not super intelligent. They're trying to hold their cell phone so they could film their feet walking on these coals. It's like, what are you doing? This is not, they're just not orange pebbles.
Right.
Yeah. But so I did get hot spots, but then the next day you don't feel them.
Okay.
But, yeah. But some people don't get them at all. Yeah. So I miss honesty. I did get hot spots the first 3 times, but oh my gosh, obviously I've done it before. And the last time I went, one of the crew leaders, she had done 99 firewalks.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
There's got to be some special award or shirt or something for that.
Oh my gosh. And it's just to go to a Tony event is amazing, but to be part of the crew is a completely different family, and you're meeting people from around the world, and it's so fun to actually watch the transformation of thousands of people in front of your face versus, you have to do it yourself first, and then you watch that transformation, and it's so rewarding. Yeah. So
crewing, you may have given me one more thing to add to my list of things I must do.
You must do. Well, you have to do it first. So at least with Tony, you have to attend the event before you could crew it.
Yep. Very cool.
But it's, oh my gosh, it's so much fun. So much fun. I am super excited that you're going to be a coach on my side. Woo!
Me too. Me
Because,
too.
I
don't want to be missing anyone. If there's questions, I'm not sure if I can see them or if you're reading them to me.
No, there's no new questions, but
I just don't want to miss anybody.
Right. And then we're going to do a watch party. So sometimes people will put questions in there. A lot of times right now, people are at work. So,
yes.
But we always do a watch party later on. And then you guys could always hit up Jeannie in the Facebook group. And I didn't realize that I spelled her name wrong. Sorry.
It's all good. It's not so far off that people can't find me. It's just an extra letter.
Yeah. And I spelled Veronica Shire's name wrong. She was the first one. So I spelled the first one and the last one wrong.
I love Veronica. Yes, I've been in some other summits and challenges with her. I saw her that day too live. I've been trying to watch when I can, but
yeah, and it's a lot. And I'm going to replay. So I'm not going to close down the group at all. I'm going to keep recycling all of the interviews because it's unrealistic for somebody to sit through 70 plus hours of interviews, in a 30-day time. So I'm going to recycle those, which is awesome because the value of coaching isn't going anywhere. And that way we could keep reconnecting with people and people could watch those interviews that they missed. Yeah.
Yes. And I saw some of our people in Tony and Dean's brand challenge this week, their 5-day challenge, which was similar time. And so, I saw some of our names from this summit pop up in there and I was like, oh, we're two-timing.
Robin. And then I see you guys posting homework in the Rise Up World or the Reach Accelerator. I'm all, listen, people. No, I totally get it. And, I wouldn't want to miss a Tony event. And I've had to miss, I missed the UPW and then his, this last challenge because I was in the middle of this, but I don't blame you guys at all. And, so.
No, and I'm missing all of it live, honestly, just because of some, daytime obligations I've got going on. So I'm always catching everything on the replay, but.
Yep. But that's
at least there's that, right?
At least there is replay. Exactly. For sure. Awesome. So is there anything that you would like to share, Miss number 70 coach of the Coach Summit? I can't believe it's over.
Yeah, you've got to be kind of like when Pete finished up that Rise Up, I thought, oh man, he's going to crash. And you must also I hope you have some time planned for yourself after this.
Well, I've had a couple days where I hit a wall yesterday. The last couple days, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. And so, yes, there is a nap plan for me today for sure. And then, but then we're launching Only the Inspired tomorrow. So I'm not quite sure what that's going to look like. And, that's super exciting. Almost 4 years in the making. So yay.
That is crazy. How do you plan to celebrate that?
That's a very good question. I don't know.
That's your homework. You're going to be accountable to me and let me know how you did it.
Okay. I will let everybody know. Yes, because that honestly, I have to celebrate that. That's,
yes.
It's so exciting and overwhelming and it's surreal that it's all happening. And, but I have to also celebrate the summit. The summit was just amazing. And all of the coaches are just beautiful in the heart. And it doesn't matter what their background is. They all want to make an impact and help people. And I love that. And I hope people really understand the value of coaching from every different area. And parenting, that's been a struggle for me. I was a single mom for 12 and a half years. And so you have to try and be the good guy and the bad guy and try and be, as fair as possible. And, so I love that you're helping people with that because there is no book. Well, there are books on parenting. But, when you're in the real thick of it with kids. Oh, there's my man. Hi, babe. When you're in the thick of it, you don't know how to do that, how to handle it. You try and be fair. And, it's the toughest, most important job I think that you could do is being a parent.
I so agree. And I mean, sometimes sitting down with a book it's just hard. You look forward to it. You're like, oh, I can't wait. I'm going to read a chapter tonight. But then you wake up, you've fallen asleep, you just to sit down and watch the short micro doses. That's my favorite word. I kept using that in my interview of videos. I think the longest video in my Marvelous Mornings course is 11 minutes. And so, you sit down and you pound that out. And I think there's 4 or 5 videos in that module, and they're all just super short. And to be able to take small changes and have a big impact in, 30 minutes or less of learning, that is just critical compared to sitting down and thumbing through, a big book. So that's truly what makes the courses my favorite part is, and I like to be entertained anyway, much more, video versus trying to go through a book too. But I love books,
Me too.
but not necessarily if I'm trying to really make something happen now. So anyway.
Right. And little bite-sized pieces, it's easier for people to go through that. And that's why I totally understand people not being able to, like our marathon day was 5 hours long. I don't expect people to be able to sit there for the whole thing, but 15 minutes is like, oh my gosh, that nugget was awesome. Whereas 7-minute video is like, oh my gosh, that was super fast. And you could do it before work. You could do it, you could squeeze that in any time.
Yes. And on a lunch period is kind of my whole thing. If they could just learn this over their lunch, how amazing. Their life could start changing before they go to bed tonight.
For sure. And with you working with thousands of families, I'm excited about the wisdom that you have to share. Super excited about the wisdom that you have to share. And I'm excited that you're taking a leap into the whole digital space because you can impact so many more people.
And, it's not really the intimidating part is how do I create a course and put it on a web? How does that work? That's the intimidating part for me. The camera doesn't bother me. The interaction doesn't bother me. That part is all fine. And with true confession, I was honest about this in the interview and right now, it's my first attempt. So by no means is it perfect. That's okay with me. We're going for progress, not perfection, right? I think the wisdom is still there, even if the lighting isn't. I try to not stress that part too much. I can always go back once I'm better at that piece of it and make the videos look better or whatever needs to happen. But, and the Marvelous Morning course can definitely stand on its own, but it's really a nugget of a much bigger, broader thing. And your mornings just get better and better and better if you incorporate from some of the other modules too, which will be coming very soon in the near future. So.
Yay. Well, and starting your morning off, I don't know why we have that feedback. Starting your morning off sets up your whole day, which is
100%. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
which is great. If you're annoyed first thing in the morning, get in the car.
Right.
Well, we are late again.
And spoiler alert, I really believe that Marvelous Mornings start with exceptional evenings. So if I were going to do it all chronologically, it really should be step 1 is set yourself up at night, which comes a little bit later only because it makes sense to people a little bit later. But really your morning is set up the night before. So anyway, that's all coming down the pipe very soon.
Yay. I'm excited about that.
Me too.
Anyway, awesome. Well, thank you everybody for being here. Thank you, Miss Jeannie, for being here.
Thank you. It's been amazing. And I appreciate the opportunity so much. You're taking the parts away from me that would have kept me from doing it. So that's a forever grateful situation right there.
Well, and that's the goal because, tech shouldn't prevent people from doing their dream job because they don't understand it, because they don't get it, because it's so overwhelming. That is one of the huge reasons I wanted to create that. I have no doubt you have amazing content. And if the fear of the tech prevented you from getting your message out there and helping thousands of family, let's take away the tech issue and let's
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for being here for the 70 Coach Summit, 31 days long. It was just a true blessing for me to have all of the coaches and to have you a part of this and watching and listening and sharing. And I hope you guys, you have 70 giveaways from these coaches, and I hope you take them up on that, just incredible stuff that they were giving away. And then the launch of onlytheinspired.com tomorrow. Yay. So make sure you get your $47 membership today, and we will see you in the group. And I will be continuing to interview coaches, but it'll be like one new one a week. And then I'm going to replay all of these videos so everybody gets a chance to watch them all. So thank you so much for being here. It's been a blessing. Have a good one. Thank you, Jeannie.
Thank you.